Super Show.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Kane Stevens Paranormal Super Show, the most super show in all the paranormal land. Once again, I'm your host, Kane Stevens, and we are back in the saddle again. Today's going to be a great show. We've got a guest here today, which is usually I just have my my dogs down here. I got Teddy the Cockapoo usually, throwing a fit, and Rocket the little black monster, doing all his things. He's kind of a naughty little guy. But today I've got from Third Gear Films, I've got a homeboy of mine, a guy by the name of Reese, right? Yeah. Reese Seymour. And I acted like I don't know you, it was almost like a question mark, like you are Reese, right? Right. I'm losing it here, but it's nice to have a guest actually in here aside from the dog. So welcome, Reese.
What up?
All right. Today's going to be a sweet show because today's going to be something different. It's going to be a little West Side tribute, West Side.
West Side?
Yeah. Reese is from the LBC, Long Beach.
Yes, yes.
And he brought, a really cool ghost story or ghost stories to my attention. So, of course, I thought to myself, why the hell wouldn't I have you in the studio talking to me about it? So I'm pretty pumped about this. Before we get into that, though, we've got some business to attend to, as we always do. Oh, I got something that just fell down. I just hung some cassettes everywhere in the studio, and the tape is not holding the way I wanted to. So it's not paranormal, I think.
It's a lot of tapes.
It just scares the hell out of you. Yeah, I got it at I got a box of cassettes, like mixed tapes and all that stuff at a garage sale for like $2, and I couldn't pass it up.
You gotta grab those.
I got all sorts of and then there's like other tapes too. There's like MC Light.
Oh, I love.
There was a Hammer. Please Hammer, don't hurt him.
Oh my god.
I mean, there's all sorts of stuff in there. So I got a Bone Thugs and Harmony tape. What was crazy is I bought it from this old lady. Like it was her garage sale, and she was just talking to me, the sweetest old lady. And, all of a sudden, I'm thumbing through these tapes. I'm like, I wonder what this lady's doing with like Bone Thugs and all this stuff, like the hardest old lady in the world, It was pretty wild. But, well, before we get into the ghosts of LBC, I think that we are going to, we're going to do a little segment we like to call Paranews.
Paranews. Paranews. Paranews.
All right, so this from coasttocoastam.com, my favorite place for Paranews. Maybe it is yours too. If you don't know what Coast to Coast AM is, it's Coast to Coast with George Norrie on the FM dial and AM dials. You just have to look for it. This one was from June 2nd of 2022. The title of this is Phantom Plane Baffles South Carolina City. So right away, they had me at a phantom plane. I assumed by reading it, that maybe local man was on some heavy LSD or something like that, because I've never seen a phantom plane. But so this one was by Tim Banal. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly, Tim. If you're out there, and I know you are, you're part of the millions and millions of people listening at home. We're going to read your little deal here. So, all right. It says multiple residents of a South Carolina city say that they saw a sizable plane flying low over their community, but their description of the aircraft doesn't match anything to be in the air at the time. According to local media, a mysterious case occurred on Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday at that time, in the city of Landrum, when 4 different people spotted the large white aircraft that they all described as resembling a large cargo plane. And then they all downed about 400 more shooters. Or no, that's not true. Usually when you have 4 people or more spotting the same thing, I'd say that's pretty credible. Unless, of course, they're all smoking crack together. But I'm just going to play the angel's advocate, I guess, and assume that they weren't. I guess what made the witnesses take notice, was how low it was flying. It was about 200 feet high. So that, good Lord, if you could think about that above your house, I'd be peeing my jeans at that point and hitting the deck, yelling the Russians are here and everything else. You're like Red Dawn.
Red Dawn. I was gonna say Red Dawn.
But what was that? I think I was talking to you about that, or I'm not sure who I was talking to, but they were talking about on one of the podcasts I listened to. They're talking about, there were comedians, they're talking about Red Dawn and how it'd be so ridiculous in today's age for the Russians to come parachuting into America. You know, like, think about all the shootings and everything. I'm not going to try to make too much light of the shootings, but think about how many people have guns here in this country. And, okay, you from the LBC, okay, if they go parachuting and
they might not make it far.
They're not going to make it far, right?
No, not in the hood.
They're seeing all these white faces invading, and they're they're freaking out. You know, they got uniforms on. They're going to assume it's the damn police. You know, taking over the place. So, you know, so that's what I would think if there was a plane coming in at that. So let's see. Asked about the odd sighting, a worker at the airport asserted the only activity of note on Tuesday was a small single-engine Cessna. So the airport is claiming that there's absolutely no activity in the area whatsoever. So it literally was a phantom plane. Like, these people saw it, maybe some other people saw it and they haven't come forward. But it's definitely interesting, and it's not too strange paranormal-wise for planes and ghost ships and all that stuff to appear. But then you got to ask yourself why, you know, and how. Like, you know, it's hard enough, like in a haunted house, to get like real evidence of a ghost appearing. So how in the hell is it possible for a plane to come out? Or was it like could it be like a UFO type scenario where it's got some sort of like military cloaking?
Or like the Bermuda Triangle situation.
Yeah,
Remember that stuff?
Exactly.
It was just disappearing. Nobody could explain that.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, it definitely is I deem this definite para-news-worthy. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah.
If ever there was an article that was para-news-worthy, this one was. So, you know, really the resolve of this is that really there wasn't one. You know, I could read on, but, you know, I'm no author, or I'm not James Earl Jones reading anything, really. He could read me, you know, instructions to how to put together a desk, and I would be enthralled by it. But I'm not going to continue too much further. But with that being said, everybody, that was your para news for the day, week, and you know, whatever the hell you're listening to it. So I hope you enjoyed it. That was from coasttocoastam.com. Check it out. That's where I get a lot of my para news, but I don't get all of it there. I know you're probably thinking I do, but I actually do read other places. It's not as easy as you think. Like, there's a lot of places, you know, like say you search Google para news or paranormal news. I mean, a lot of stuff doesn't come up current, so it's hard at times to find it. So if you have a link that you can think of that has like more current paranormal news, please tell me. But other than that, you're going to have to stick with the garbage that I come up with, or the good stuff too. Who knows? So with that being said, I think we're going to get to the old meat on the bone, get to the why the hell we're even here, other than me forcing people to hang out with me because I don't really have any friends, you know. This is a life of a nerdy podcaster. So
especially in the paranormal world, you know, I usually just sit in here with my little toys and my dogs, and I got Sasquatch with buns. If you turn him around, check this guy out. I mean, he's got some, you know, even white boy's got a shirt on him, right?
Squatch got back.
Yeah, he does. He's got a unibrow and a mustache. I mean, this guy's got it going on. He looks like the freaking Hulk. So, I mean, that's how I'm going to envision that the Sasquatch in the woods really is now. You know, Bigfoot people out there. This is I'll take a picture of it and put it if I haven't already. But you got to see the buns on this guy, man. I mean, he would make Cheryl Teagues proud. So, with that being said, we're gonna take just a brief intermission here for a second, and then we're gonna get into the ghosts of the LBC.
Ooh.
All right, we're back at it, and you know, once again,
we got pair of news out of the way, and I enjoyed it. I don't know about you, Reese. Reese here. I've got Reese Seymour here. I've known him for some years now. I used to know him in the old karaoke world when we used to frequent maybe a local tavern or two. Maybe have a couple pops and maybe you guys were card playing and I was yapping on the old mic like Dolomite up there, giving them a little show. Yeah,
way down the jungle deep.
But Reese, first off, let's do a little plug-in for you, man. Let's talk about Third Gear Films and what the hell it is. Tell me about when you started this. What your vision for it is, and any projects that you think you're gonna have coming up.
Cool. Third Gear Films. I came up with that probably in the late '90s. I had some ideas, and I was writing some stuff down, putting stories and stuff together, but I didn't really have a lot of money, for like film equipment and stuff like that. I just had basically idea and, put pen to paper. So I had a bunch of stories and stuff. But fast forward to when, about like a couple of years ago, I met a couple of people here in Lincoln. They said, yeah, we can get together and put some stuff together. I know some actors, I know directors, this and that. Well, we all know that was some bullshit.
Yeah, it usually is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just kept it light until I got not reacquainted, but got back in touch with you and told you my vision, and you told me your vision. I say, hey, I got these ideas. You in the music world, and I'm in the music world, so what I'm saying, I was like, yeah, I got to get Kane on this. This is gonna be dope. But I got a couple of scripts written that I want to get off the ground.
Hell yeah.
But that'll be coming up within less than a year. I'm gonna say less than a year. Still getting some stuff together, actors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Equipment, location, and all that stuff. So
and we've even started scoring some of the stuff, and we got some big ideas that we'll share with you guys at a later time.
Yes.
We don't want to share too much now and have you Grinches and Steelers out there coming in,
Yeah, I don't want to give all the sauce.
We'll reveal ourselves to you when not in a dirty way, but we'll reveal what we got going on in no time at all. But the reason why we're here today, though, is we want to get down to obviously this is a paranormal show.
Yes,
I know you've listened to some of it, and it's all about ghost stories for me. I reformatted the show for just this purpose. I just want my goal or mission is to make it as easy as possible for people to feel comfortable talking about the paranormal.
Right.
Most people don't. Most people don't want to talk about it. They're freaked out by it. It's getting more and more normal because it's on TV. Yeah. There's all these ghost hunters, and don't get me wrong, I love all that stuff, but I mean, some of it's pretty dramatized too. I mean, I've been watching Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures since the beginning of all of this, and I'm sitting there, with my pillow, gripping it tight. Oh, I just love this so much, and I mean, it's been great, but I mean, they've really dramatized a lot of things. And now it's all about demons and all this stuff with them. And I mean, me personally, that terrifies the crap out of me. Yeah. But I'll watch them do it. I'll watch from afar and, pray to God that it doesn't happen to me. But, so you have a pretty sweet ghost story.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to let you kind of, just tell me how, your perception of it. You kind of did the footwork on research it because I wasn't sure exactly what you were what you were getting at in terms of what ghost story in particular. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to comment on what you have to say and let you kind of launch off into your own world here. So you please tell me about what this is, what area Long Beach we're referring to, and just give me a little synopsis.
Okay. Let me go back. Tell you about the history of the Pike, which is an amusement park in Long Beach. It started in 1902 and it ended in 1979. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I think this particular person that I'm about to talk about, I think that he had something to do with my situation with, Ghost or whatever.
Right.
But his name was, he was an outlaw by the name of Elmer McCurdy.
Okay.
He was an American bank robber and train robber. He was born in 1880 and he died in 1911.
Okay.
Now, on December 8th, 1976, at the Pike, there was a film crew there. They were filming an episode of The $6 Million Man. Yeah. And the episode was called Carnival of Spies. If anybody wants to, check it out, they were at the Pike. So the film crew found hanging from the gallows or whatever. They found not a body, but looked like skeleton or whatever.
Yeah.
And they thought it was a prop, but they did
like a skeleton hanging there.
Right. They're thinking, it's just part of the props or whatever in there.
Yeah.
It was in the funhouse, but they found out it was this guy. So, yeah. So this particular day in 1979, because my mom, my stepdad, they said, this is about to close, this year. So we want to take you one last time. And I remember this day, I will never forget it because I was wearing my Fonzie t-shirt. That day. It was my favorite. Yeah, that's what it said. It said "A" on the bottom of it. That was my favorite shirt back then. And I had a lunchbox, everything. But I wore my Fonzie t-shirt to the Pike. And somehow I got separated from my mom and my stepdad. So I snuck off into the House of Mirrors. Mm-hmm. And I was probably about, I think, 8 back then. So I got in there and I kind of got lost, back in there. So I sat in the corner and I was like, crying. So there was this little girl that came in. She had green corduroy pants on and a pink shirt and long blonde hair. I will never forget.
And you were horrified by the color choice of this particular child, but you let it happen. I would have been.
But she had said, "Are you lost?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know where I'm at." So she told me to come with her. So I kind of followed her, and she says, "Go ahead, go out the door. Go out in front of the door." So I went out, and my mom was there, and stepdad was there, and police officers and stuff was there, because I was lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So mom was hugging me, crying and stuff like that. And the worker who was at the thing said, "How'd you come out?" And I said, "There was the little girl. She helped me." And he said, "There's nobody in there." So they went back in, they made sure everything was clear. There was nobody in there.
For real.
No. And I described this girl. So later on in life, I say when I got about 17, 18, I wanted to do a little bit more research on that stuff. Right. So that's when I found this outlaw, Elmer McCurdy, found out about the skeleton and stuff like that. I was like, I wonder if maybe that was him, even though
what year was the skeleton when they
discovered? 76.
76, and this was then an amusement park.
Yeah,
that was pretty popular in like 79. You said,
yeah.
Oh, so okay, so they had all this stuff.
Yeah, they had this stuff in there, and when they found the film crew from the $6 Million Man found this in 76. I went in 79, and that's when I had my experience with that girl. Okay, so I'm thinking in my head that maybe that was him trying to help me, even though he was an outlaw. Maybe he was the little, maybe he was in the little girl or whatever. Or maybe that was him trying to help me. Or whatever.
Well, you never really know how an apparition is going to appear to you, or what. It's not necessarily common to have, but how would somebody know? Like, what are you going to ask the ghost? Like, hey, aren't you some other guy? Like,
you're not supposed to be a girl.
Aren't you Frank, the outlaw guy that got hung or something? And then they're like, oh, well, I was trying to fool you with this little girl costume, but I guess since you're asking, yes, I was. But that's really interesting. Have other people had experiences? Because I was kind of looking into it, but I couldn't find. I just don't think I was searching for the right stuff or something. Right. So I figured that it would be easier for me to just have you tell the story. Do you know if anybody else has had?
I had family members and stuff say that when they went there, they saw stuff. You know, and it's kind of like if you've seen the movie Us.
Right.
You remember the little girl when she went into that house of mirrors, whatever, and then the girl snatched her through the mirror.
Yeah.
You just see what I'm saying?
So it's kind of like similar in a
Kind of,
way.
yeah. I was gonna say that it was kind of, but nobody snatched me. Obviously, nobody snatched
Thank
me
God,
through the
right?
glass. But, but yeah, it was like that. We were at the amusement park, and I went into that house of mirrors, and that girl, and I see her face right now.
So is that amusement park still around now?
No, it closed. It closed in '79.
It did close.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You were saying
Yep.
that there would be.
Yep.
So, what were the reasons? Do you know behind why it closed? Do you have any idea?
No, I think it just ran its course.
Yeah.
But now if you look up the Pike in Long Beach, it's basically it's by the pier, and there's a bunch of shops and stuff like that, food shops, clothing stores.
Yeah.
I know there's a Bubba Gump shrimp company out there, and there's a bunch of other stuff along the pier. It's beautiful.
Wow.
You ever get a chance?
Yeah, it
look
sounds
up any
awesome.
pictures, you should look it up.
Well, I wonder if any of these shops that are in the area have any. So that could be something that I could try to contact somebody.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can contact some people and see if they had any, experiences,
Yeah.
and tell them, hey, I used to, I'm from there. I had experience there in '79 with the $6 Million Man film crew,
Yeah.
found that, thing there. Do you guys,
So was that your first experience with paranormal or anything like that, or have you
No,
had prior?
that was actually the second time. The first time I remember I ran away.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to get to grandma's house when I was like maybe 6 years old, and I kind of went out the door and up the street to I think it was a Safeway grocery store at the time, Safeway, and then there was like a Jack in the Box down like a couple of blocks down from there, but I had ended up going into a flower shop up the street from my house after I ran away.
Right.
And I was hiding in the back of the flower shop, and the the shop owner asked me, what's your name? Where do you live? And, at 6 years old, I don't think I knew my address back then.
Right.
And
I barely know mine.
yeah,
now. I'm 40s.
but my mom actually, she found me and stuff like that. But it was like my mom always, she never forgot to lock chain the door, lock the door and stuff like that.
Right.
But for some reason, the door was cracked open, and I just happened to go out.
And you bolted to grandma's house.
Went
You're
to-
like,
and
here's
they
my
say,
chance.
where are you going? I said, I'm going to grandma's house. Well, I don't, but I think there's been something that's been following me since I was young, and I'm 50 years old right now, and there's been a lot of strange stuff that's been happening.
Well, I definitely want to get into those stories. You told me of a of a story about how you avoided death and some
man.
different things. So, I mean, please, by all means, let's continue, any of the ghost story stuff from what we're in. Let's get into that here in a little bit if you want.
Okay. There was a time, I think it was, actually it was 2010. I was going to Kaplan University, the community college.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to night school at the time. I was trying to get an associate's degree in business or whatever. So I was coming home, and I had a yellow Camaro. Not a Camaro, sorry. I'll take that back. I had a yellow Mustang at the time. It was like a 2009.
Right.
So I was driving on 10th Street, coming...
Here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
here in Lincoln.
Okay.
I was on 10th, downtown. I was coming home. I was driving... westbound. I was driving westbound, and something grabbed me, grabbed my shoulder. It felt like somebody's hand grabbed my shoulder. So I turned and looked to the left. There was a car. It was coming. It was going through the red light.
Holy crap.
And if that, whatever it was didn't grab me, I probably would have been dead.
Yeah.
But I stomped on the brakes, and they went past me, and they hit the car next to me.
Holy crap.
And the girl popped out of the window. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So they hit him real hard.
Yeah.
Huh?
And I had pulled over, and I seen the guy who was driving he tried to put her into the driver's seat like she was driving, not him.
No.
So I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, he was probably drunk or something like that. But I saw an officer and I said, hey, I just saw that guy, you know what I'm saying, he put that girl in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
But if that, whatever it was, didn't grab my arm and I didn't look like that, I would have probably been gone.
Man, that's wild.
Oh, yeah.
And so you wonder, I mean, you know, not to get into religious aspects, but, you know, people talk about, you know, guardian angels and stuff like it is in your time. You know, you didn't see anything, but you felt something physically grab you. That's really interesting.
It wasn't no muscle spasm. It was something like grab my shoulder right here.
Oh, it's unmistakable.
I'm like,
yeah. I mean, I've been grabbed in a haunted. Well, I've been grabbed by many people. You know,
I've been grabbed too.
I've been grabbed. You know, but I've been grabbed in a house that was haunted of ours, and it's unmistakable when there's nobody there. But you can feel it as if it's absolutely there.
Oh yeah.
And so I can only imagine in that case what it would have been like. But I mean, so did anyone die? Do you know in that? Or?
I don't think they died, but she definitely popped out of that window.
That's terrifying
like
to me.
Like what do you call those? Oh,
like a jack in the box.
Like she went.
Holy crap!
Oh, he hit her that hard.
Jeez. What the fuck? It just proves I'm like a crabby old lady when I drive. I drive like I'm not in a hurry to get anywhere. Like, I just don't give a damn. I'm just listening to my music. But people just like drive me completely insane.
Oh yeah, it's crazy out there.
Like I have a neighbor who you know, I'm not gonna name which side or whatever. They probably won't ever listen, but I'm pretty sure that they're a family of robots or aliens, and we laugh about it here. But this lady, like, I was walking today, you know, I take a walk every day because I got to get like my strength back up and everything. And this lady just comes flying from behind me. And I mean, I had my headphones in, but I mean, I'm kind of like mindful of all, but this lady's like completely like nutty, you know, like the way she drives is like a total nuisance to me. And she like, this is something that, this is one reason why I think that she's a robot. So like, in the super cold, you know, that's ice, the windows are ice and everything. Everybody else is out there scraping away. I'm so sick of this crap. You know, I hate the winter. This chick, she gets in her car, she starts it up, and she'll just doesn't matter if her stuff's iced up. She'll just hit the reverse like within like a few seconds, crazy. And then just drive off with it. But it's not like, it's like every day. Like think about when you get in your car, right? You get in, you kind of adjust some stuff, maybe you move some things around, you know, at least 60 seconds, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Hell, sometimes it takes me like 5 minutes to get out of the damn. This lady, I've counted it. I literally counted every day. Every day. It's like 3 to 8 seconds. It's like when you hear, and I know because their car is loud.
Oh, yeah.
It's like there's an exhaust problem. So you can turn it on, and you can literally hear that click, and then it's going like, it's like she hits it, and she just slams on the acceleration. She's nuts. She like backed over their mailbox like 2 times. Like there was this one day where I was laughing because it's like it had to have been her, dude. And then the next day, like he had it up, kind of like perched up a little bit, and then it happened again. I'm pretty sure she did it again. I'm like, what the hell are you in such a hurry for? Like, does she hate her family so much that she just has to get out of there? I don't know, but they're pretty weird, man. There's just all sorts of stuff. It's like every time they'll like have their kids playing outside, like quote unquote humans do in like negative 35 degree weather. But then they'll be out there, you know, playing different stuff, but like after dark, like instead of like the regular people with their kids, like, yeah, you gotta come in and no, they're sending them out there, and we got freaking Charles Barkley out there playing basketball. And I just want to go out there, and it's sad because I used to play basketball and be the same type of way. Like I was so annoying to my neighbors, I'm sure, all the time. But I just want to go out there and just swat his shots. Like, don't you ever want to do that to a kid? Like, just run out there and just get that crappy shot out of there, you know, or go swat it away from, you know, they're not dribbling, right? It's like,
They're awful. They're little psychopaths. I could go into more and more stories. The kids are nutty too, but if they're listening, I don't really care. If you guys don't like me, I want to be friends with you. Don't invade my house and suck our brains out of our heads or anything like that. We're here to show you, like, we're like the worst family to try to mimic, but I swear, like, every time we put something up outside, like the next day but like, we're weird. So it's like they don't understand that we're not the family to follow, but they seem to like do that. So anyways, I kind of digress again, but it was pertinent in my mind. So and that's all that matters. But so this getting back to what we were talking about again. So you've had that brush with near death and everything else. Well, there's some other stories too you're telling me about.
Oh, there's a ton of
what
stories.
What about the drive-by story? Do you want to tell that one?
Oh,
that was a pretty cool story.
Yeah. Well, this was actually, this one was in Omaha.
Yeah.
This is probably in I'm going to say early 2000s, probably early 2000s. I was hanging out with some people and they had a party. And there was some girls there, some guys. I think there was maybe 30 people in that apartment.
Right.
And it was you had to go up a long flight of stairs to get to the apartment. But my spot was right there in the recliner, where the front door was. Yeah. That was my spot all night. So I was drinking my little Hennessy.
And you can spot them hoes.
Right, you know what I'm saying? I had to see when the hoes came in, right? You know what I'm saying? So my spot was right there in the recliner. So everybody go, hey, Reese, well, you want a shot of Hennessy? Yeah, a shot of Hennessy. Well, there was an incident where there was one of the guys there. He was, kept teasing one of the girls, trying to, get with her or whatever. She wasn't having it. She kept saying, no, I got a boyfriend. He lives in South Omaha. I got a boyfriend. Please don't. I'm on the phone with him right now.
Right.
So, he was like, forget him.
He's a loser.
Yeah,
he's on the
loser.
south side.
They suck. So I'm just, hanging out, sitting in my chair, drinking my Hennessy. And two guys that I know, Robbie and Eric, they said, Reese, let's go to the projects. I say, what? I'm not going to the projects. I'm serious. Come on, we know some girls over there. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. We can go drink with them and stuff. I'm like, no. But then something. I swear, I got this cold feeling. It was like really cold.
Right.
Like, oh shit. I said, okay, yeah, let's go. Let's go. I swear, an hour later, they called Robbie, and they said that the apartment got shot up by that girl's boyfriend and his friends. They were from, South Omaha, some South Omaha gang or whatever. So they came and shot up the front door. And where I was sitting at, where my head was in the recliner, was some bullet holes.
Oh, holy crap.
Another guy got shot in the ass, and there was another guy that got shot in the side. So if I would have been sitting in that same spot,
you would have been done.
I would have been done. But that cold feeling, something said, it's that cold feeling was like,
it seems like you have something with you, like following you, or like helping you your whole life.
Yeah,
even the little girl that appeared to you, right?
Yeah, it's like since I've been growing up, it's like something is like steering me away from trouble. Like, don't do that. Like,
Man, that's really interesting.
And plus, I work at a nursing home, so there's some crazy stuff in the nursing home.
Well, do you, speaking of the nursing home, we don't have to mention it or anything, but it's cool you came over after work. You got your like scrubs on and everything. It's awesome, man. It's a great look. I was gonna wear the same thing, but I didn't want to make you like oh man, like did he have to wear the same outfit as I did today? But
look like Dr. Sanguinary. Remember Dr. Sanguinary?
Oh, dude, I love Dr. Sanguinary.
Oh,
absolutely.
Man, that was dope. That was so dope.
But have you ever witnessed anything there, or has anyone? Because people die at nursing homes all the time. Unfortunately,
all the time. There's just been weird stuff going on. I remember a particular time. I think maybe about say 6-7 years ago. There's a lady that passed or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was always really kind to her. You know what I'm saying? She says, "You're my protector. You're my protector."
Yeah.
When she died, I swear. When she died, the room she was in, the door just kept slamming.
Really?
We opened it. It was no windows around, no windows open or nothing like that. The door just
Right.
kept slamming and slamming. And they said, "That's her." I said, she said I was her protector.
She's trying to get your
And
attention, man.
but every time somebody else went in that room after she was gone, nothing happened. It only happened when I worked. Because
Wow.
she told me I was her protector.
That's
It's
wild.
like, I don't know, maybe it's like a ghost family or something that's watching them.
It could be, man. That's now she's there too. You know, you've
Yeah.
got like a bunch of people.
I got my ghost hood
Yeah.
with me, my ghost posse.
Man, that's crazy. What you said you live by the zoo, right? You're
Yeah.
kind of in that area.
Yeah.
You don't live at the water plant there, do you?
No.
That's okay.
No.
I know I did some construction there years ago when I worked for a place here in Lincoln, and we redid a bunch of stuff. And that place was like, it's cool because you probably see it though all the time, right?
Yeah.
We would have to go up into the old water plant area, like to get to the siding that we were putting up and everything. Man, that place was super creepy inside there, and you would hear all sorts of stuff. I mean, like beyond like regular clanking around. I mean, if you can imagine an old water treatment area, but I mean, it was like you always felt like someone was like right there next to you, breathing down your back, but. You know, I kind of like that stuff too. Like, but I'm a big chicken. You know, I like all this stuff, but you know, I get scared and everything. Like this house that we live in, you know, we actually have had stuff happen here, but I've always felt like there's been something following me or my family our whole lives. I mean, we had a haunting in Utan where we lived at a house where people like. I think the family member, one of them hung themselves in the attic that we lived, you know, in that place. And then, you know, the people, their family members died in like a horrific car accident and like all this stuff. So we had a lot of weird stuff happen there, you know, at my grandma's house in Iowa, where you know, where a lot of my family's from. You know, there was a lot of ghost activity there. I mean, like throughout my entire life, through all different things, it's like, I swear my family's not like drinking a bunch of mercury or you know draining every old thermometer they can get a hold of, like drinking it. And, you know, I swear that there are some normal people in the family. I'm not one of them, but there are normal people. Well, you know, that's what draws me to a show like this, and this is great. Like the stuff you're telling me, you know, it could be ghost activity. It could be it could be something that we don't even understand. It could be like another dimension type thing. Like, what do you think of? What do you personally think about ghosts? And it's okay. Like, what's your take on what ghosts are?
Ghost to me is like a spirit of not a physical, but a spirit of something. Like I always wonder that, like when we pass, like what happened. I can't imagine just if we die, then that's it. There's got to be something that's in us that would have to be preserved somehow and, you know, floating around.
Right.
Like a ghost. And I mean, I truly believe that. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that when we die, then, you know, that's just it. We just get buried. And no.
Man, it's such a horrible thing to think about. You know, like there are people out there who definitely believe that. Like we're just organisms. We lived. We did all this, and then there's nothing. But I don't think so. I mean, I think there's so much unexplained going on out there.
Yeah.
That I mean, just everything in general. I mean, I'm not going to go into religious with anybody. Everybody can believe what they want to believe. I never push it on people. I have my beliefs or whatever, but it's really hard for me to generalize it as there's nothing.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what there is. You know, I don't know if there is I mean, I know what I believe with like heaven and hell and all this, but what's all this other stuff? You know, like what are all these creatures that people are seeing, and like all these bones that they find, and there's like you know, like miniature. I mean, fairy, like fairy type creatures and giants and all this stuff, but it's stuff that they don't talk about in history. Like I was reading not too long ago, like in the Vatican has like a vault of like all of this stuff, you know, like the stuff that they don't want you to talk about or know. I mean, like, which I don't understand. Like the Bible literally talks about giants.
Yeah.
and everything. I mean, David and Goliath, right?
Yeah.
You know this. So why is it so out there to have show us some of those giant bones? Let's
Right.
see, like look at
yeah.
all these people. Look at Shaquille O'Neal and all these
I know.
massive people, and you mean to tell me that there's no such thing as a freaking giant? Like, come on, like you're not fooling me with him. Like I mean, or anybody. It's crazy. Like, yeah, I'm not saying that I've seen fairies floating around or any of this stuff, but all I'm saying is I swear I know that there's bones out there,
Yeah.
and there's all sorts of things that have been found or seen that is just not. I mean, obviously our history is not being told to us
No.
in the proper way. Our districts and all these, they water everything down.
Oh, yeah.
We do get like a Anglo-Saxon kind of really watered down version of history. I mean, even the bloody stuff and all that, like they don't want to tell us about everything. Like we're not ready for it or something.
Look at Area 51. All that
Area
stuff.
51, all that.
They trying to hide that stuff from us. Why?
I mean,
Let us know what's going on. Maybe we can help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't get
Why
it. There were
hide
those
it from
people a
us?
while back, and they were like, they had just had it, and they were like, oh, remember that? They were like in a storm Area 51, which I thought was a horrible idea because, I mean, I'm thinking like, there's this 18-year-old with a machine gun, there, and he's just waiting for people like, oh, finally this day has come where I can mow a bunch of people down with an Uzi or something or whatever the hell they hold. Like, don't you think so? Like, when I worked at the airport here in Lincoln, sometimes we would have to have the people from Offutt. They would be like temporarily over, which I think they are right now. But it was really crazy to me because, like, I would be going to, like, mow or something, on my mower. And here's this 18-year-old with a machine gun, and I'm freaking horrified. Wow. And I got to ask him permission to go in.
That's crazy.
Like, it was nutty. And so it just made me, like, really scared of 18-year-olds with machine guns or anyone. But there was even a story there where I think years ago, and I don't want the Army and everybody storming after me, but I'm pretty sure – like with the National Guard or with something, like somebody had tried to go in the fences and they here's what it was. They were doing like a drill of some sort to see how, how safe things were. And I guess one of them like took another one of them down and like ended up killing them, like their head like hit the ground too hard. And,
Whoa.
And it's probably just one of those scenarios where somebody's all fired up in the middle of a drill.
Wow.
Not that we don't appreciate your service and we're glad you're, taking down all the bad guys in the world. I'm not going to say, I don't want to offend too many people. Everyone gets so offended, right? So if I say, like,
I know, it's crazy. People get offended at the stupidest things.
Thanks for fighting the Russians or the Chinese and all this. I don't mean it, right? Just don't come after me personally, or any of us. Like, I'm just saying in general, like
right.
Those are like the ones that everyone's always like pushing onto us as the enemies, right? And I don't know who is the enemy. We can ask ourselves. There's a lot of them out there, but this was good, man. I mean, we could save a lot of it for another episode. We're probably getting pretty long in the tooth on some of this. If
I love talking.
Oh, I do too, man. We got more to talk about. Trust me. We've got our dream segment coming up here.
Oh, yeah.
And in the old pretty book, the old yellow and red book of horoscopes and dreams from the 70s. Oh, yeah. I can't wait to. We'll probably read a few extras here. So, with that being said, let's we'll wrap up this for now, and we're definitely going to have Reese on more. Yeah. You've been an awesome guest so far.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Me, not so much, but hey, what do you do, right? It's my show, so
right.
I kind of got to put up with it, or or somebody will just come along. The millions of people out there doing podcasts will come along and they're better. That's fine. But this has been fun, man. So with that being said, let's get into our last segment. Let's get into In Your Dreams.
In your dreams.
In your dreams.
In your dreams.
So how we do this is we hold the book up, we do a little ceremonial dance with it or whatever. We tap it a few times and we just we listen to the book for a second. Where are we gonna go today? Okay. So I'm gonna flip back and forth, up and down. We're going to arrive on something. We're on R's today. So basically, Reese, in this book,
which I know you've listened before, but the book is in the dream section is telling you if you have something happen that this is what it actually means. Okay, so and mind you, some of this stuff is very strange, but it's the truth, dang it.
It's the truth.
So here, let's do one here. All right, let's do rhubarb.
Rhubarb.
Who hasn't dreamt a rhubarb in their dream? Okay, so if you're dreaming a rhubarb, if you've eaten or pickled from the garden in your dream, rhubarb foretells better health. So I mean, yeah, I mean that's pretty straightforward. Usually it's almost like reading I don't know, like stereo instructions or something, or like from Beetlejuice, the handbook of the recently deceased, but not today. If it's taken as medicine, it's an omen of a move to new quarters and move to a, so if you take rhubarb as medicine, and nobody does that, but if somebody did do that, okay, that part of it's ridiculous to me. You had me at like you're dreaming about rhubarb crisp, you know, like grandma's rhubarb. My mom makes a killer rhubarb crisp.
All right.
I like rhubarb, but I've never dreamt about it, pickling it or anything, which sounds really delicious. I like all pickled things, so this is we're learning today. And then taken as medicine. I mean, I don't know what rhubarb does for you, but why the hell would you be dreaming about that?
That's true.
So, you know, that's kind of interesting. We're still in. Here's another one from. We're not even going to flip back. We're just going to do ours.
Okay.
Rice. We all like rice. Who doesn't like rice? I recently just learned to make sushi, and I'm getting pretty good at those sushi rolls.
Okay.
So if you boil rice served in a dream, it portends a visit to a bazaar or fair held for charity. Now that this is what I accuse this book of doing sometimes. I accuse this book of they went through the dictionary, okay, and they just wrote down words, and then they just wrote down every single word or scenario they could think of, and they threw it in like a. Not even a hat, like one of those giant like bingo rollers, and then they cranking. Oh, B13, and then looky here, we happen to also have, you know, what happens when you boil rice in your dreams, and you're gonna visit a bazaar fair held for charity. Like,
really,
that's really something, you know. Like I could see someone dreaming about rice.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're seeing rice growing in patties, it's a forerunner of a long trip to a strange and unfamiliar land.
Whoa.
So there's a lot there. So
does that book have, if you dream the time 222?
No. Let's see here.
Because I have
Is there a numbers section? What number is it?
I always dream 222. I don't know why. And when I wake up from asleep, it's 222. I've been dreaming about it a lot. And I don't know what the hell it is.
See, that sounds like kind of like your thing where it's, you know, something's fault, you know, like there's some reason behind 222. I mean, is there any significance that you can think of in any?
I don't know. I took a picture. I was playing 2K.
Yeah.
I was playing NBA 2K. Somebody stopped the time. They called timeout. It was 222.
Wow, that's crazy.
It happened a lot.
I wonder
don't know
why, man. I wonder
it's very weird. I dream about it and I see it. What is 222?
So what happened after? I mean, did you light them up after that? I hope.
I was tearing them up.
Oh, there you go.
That was my. I said, if I see 222, I'm about to tear them up.
Yeah. Do you ever do like lottery numbers or something and do like 2 and 22?
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, you should, man. I mean, I just won you $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know, like you're gonna do that tomorrow. You're gonna do that tomorrow. You're gonna win the Powerball.
I'm gonna do that.
Now, if you win $1 billion, you got to at least throw your boy, you know it. A couple of ducats. You know what I'm saying? Something to, you know, Daddy's got to buy some shoes for those kids. You know? All right. Let's there isn't anything in here for numbers,
okay.
But I'm gonna look under the ends real quick and see if I can find
anything about their. Let's see. How to find a number to correspond with your dream. Of course, it sends me to page 766. This is riveting. you're you're at the edge of your seat wondering.
How many pages is that book? Yeah.
This book is 768 pages.
You know what? You know what is a good idea right now? What page you should go to?
What page?
222.
That's a hell of an idea. We're doing something here, man.
Now that we're talking about it,
now it is riveting. You know
what I'm saying?
We're gonna read anything from 222. Yes. All right. So 222 is actually in the horoscope section.
Okay.
Now, when were you born?
June 18th, 1971.
Oh, dang it. I was hoping for like this amazing moment. Like, oh my God, your horoscope.
February 22nd or something. No.
But it's July. It's the child of Leo is what this is. July 23rd to August 23rd. Okay. And it talks about, it really just talks about Leo children being most vital and active of all types. But didn't I read a while back that like the signs are like off or something? Like actually, like, okay, like I'm an Aries, but actually, I think I'm like something else. Like, didn't it all change?
They were trying to say that.
Because what's your sign?
I'm a Gemini.
Gemini.
I'm two. See, I'm two people too.
Gemini.
I know I'm truly a Gemini.
Did you watch Gemini with Will Smith? Was it any good?
It was okay. It was all right.
Yeah. It was something. It wasn't him beating up Chris Rock or something in the middle of a God. Yeah, the old slap heard around the room. Well, we didn't find any, but maybe you'll come back to me and you'll go, right. Man, I'm actually a Leo. And then we have something. But
my daughter's a Leo, and my best friend was a Leo.
Well, that could be something. But 222 is so if I go back to the numbers section of this, and I don't want to get too I don't want to bore you to death too much, to find a number to correspond with your dream. Okay. All through recorded history, men have agreed that numbers are potent, influential, and worthy of study and respect. Their proper use may have a strong influence on your fortunes. Yeah. So dream numbers. It is not intended here to outline the science of numerology. The purpose is merely to make it possible for you to discover a friendly number, if this can be done in connection with every dream. So,
very interesting.
And then it has a bunch of Then it has a bunch of other words and in numbers, and that's where you lose me. Like I was always good with the literary part of it, but then we started doing math. I can remember, and like I would like, it was just so boring to me. It wasn't that I couldn't do it. Math. I hated it. There were kids that would make fun of me because I would purposely answer stuff wrong, like because I just didn't care. Like I can remember even a kid like, oh, man, you're so dumb, dude. You can't answer this simple algebra. And it's just like, I just didn't care, but I always tested fine. I just didn't. I don't want to answer your stupid question. That's how school was for. I liked science and I liked all the fun stuff. History is fun, even if they're lying to us. Yeah. Still, history is really fun.
I hated math.
Yeah,
unless it was a lot of numbers in my check, I didn't care.
My wife likes math. Like she loves doing numbers. She would be happy being an accountant or something. To me, that's just so boring. Yeah. Like, oh God, no. And my kids are like good at math, which it must be all her. Because I mean, it's not that I'm terrible at it. I just don't care about it. I didn't. But we didn't find a correspondence today. But guess what? I'm going to research it some more, and I'm going to find out there's got to be other publications other than this 50-cent garage sale book that I got. There has to be something else out there that can answer our questions about. So if you're a dream expert out there, and I know there's got to be at least thousands of you listening to our show.
That's right.
Right now. tell us what does 222 mean? Because we need to know. That is really wild though. So you always look at the clock and it's 222.
I wake up in the middle of the night, 222. I'll dream about the time 222, or I see a dream about the number 222. And it's so weird.
That's really weird.
It's very weird. I don't know why.
That's like some alien math.
It's like something's trying to tell me something. I want to know.
That's really interesting. It's like at least it's not like 3:30 a.m. Like the most ghostly activity happens or whatever, or like demonic stuff, or 3:30, like all this stuff, like 222.
222.
We're gonna get down to the bottom of that. And the next time you come, we're gonna have like
I'm gonna do some little bit of research and
a whole book, like a Bible sized book worth of stuff.
I'm gonna find out.
So, well, everybody, that was in your dreams for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, we're gonna have Reese back on the show. Hopefully somewhat regularly. I know him and I have some plans to do some other podcasts, maybe more where it's just him and I all the time.
Yeah.
We've got a really sweet idea but I just don't want to reveal it to you guys yet.
Yeah, we're trying to give you all the sauce right now.
Because I know you haters out there and people, I know you guys are like taking notes and writing down. And guess what? We're fresh, we're clean up in here, and you wish that you were us, but we're just not there yet. So.
You bunch of haters out there. Only a hater.
So we're not going to reveal it to you just yet, but just know that we've got some other podcasts that we're going to be doing. They're going to be pretty nice.
And music.
Yes, and music. Yeah, we've got a ton of music stuff coming up. I can't wait to, we're scoring some of this films. If you like that, if you like the visual, which pretty much every human being does, except for like the really boring people.
Then you can see how good looking we are, guys. You know what?
Or not. I'm probably just going to wear a mask every time. But, I've got my Jason mask over here. I've got my
I got that.
Oh, yeah. Too. I got my skeleton battle hands over here in case it's about to get real. I
love horror films. Love horror films.
So with that being said, everybody, I want to thank you guys for listening to this longer episode of the Kane Stevens Paranormal Super Show. I'm not sure if we're breaking it up into 2 parts or not, but we'll see. But I want to thank you, Reese, once again for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you had fun. And we'll see you guys on the other side. It's been real. It's been fun. It's even been real fun. So we'll talk to you guys on the flip side. Good night.
Peace.